Hi everybody, this is Book-S Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Wonder Woman figure. So before we take a look at Wonder Woman, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the accessories that she comes with. So first up you get your standard DC Multiverse base, but she stands very well on her own despite having those heels on. Up next you get her data file, a nice shot of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman from BVS right there. And if you want to read that, go ahead and pause that now. Up next, she comes with her Lasso of Truth. I do wish this would have been in a loop like it's pictured on the card, instead of this because this is reused from the Wonder Woman 84 figure. But overall, it doesn't look too bad. It does stay on here pretty nicely. Up next, she comes with this comedically large sword, and it does have some really good sculpt detail to it. I just feel like it's a tad bit too big. So I believe it's cast in gold because you can see there's a scuff in the paint right there and there's gold underneath. And it has silver painted on the blade and blue for the handle. And the blade actually has some very intricately sculpted details on it. It looks really good. You can see that it's a little bit warped right here because it's such a soft plastic. But yeah, it's just way too large. They could have scaled it down just a little bit. Has some great sculpt detail to it, but it looks too large for the figure in my opinion. And finally, she comes with her shield. And you can see that her shield is warped just a little bit up here. But just like with the sword, it has some very nice, intricate sculpted detail on it. It looks very nice. The problem, though, is the straps right back here. They're just way too loose. They should have been a lot tighter. You can see how much room that has to move around. So anytime you're posing the figure, or you just put her arm down like that, it's just going to do that. So yeah, I really wish they would have fixed the straps on that, because it's a really good looking shield, but it won't stay on her. No matter what you do, it's always going to be rocking, and if you put her arm down, that's going to completely slip off. So that is pretty unfortunate. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at her head sculpt. So taking a look at this head sculpt, I think this is a phenomenal likeness of Gal Gadot. It is just really good. McFarlane Toys has really refined their print details and ability to sculpt an actor's likeness. I actually thought the original Wonder Woman 84 head sculpt looked good, but comparing it to this one, which I'll show off in just a second, yeah, this one is just so much better. All of the printed details look really good. The paint on the lips came out really clean. Her upper lip is actually a darker color than her bottom lip. And they even painted some shading on her cheeks very well. Sometimes McFarlane figures have a little bit too much shading. They look like they have a little bit too much blush on their cheeks. But they printed some variation on, and it's very subtle. And that's why it looks so good, because there is paint variation over top of the face right here, but it's very subtle, and it looks very natural. So yeah, McFarlane Toys did an incredible job on this head sculpt. It looks really good. And even the sculpt of the hair looks really nice. The way it's sculpted really looks like it did in the movie. It just looks very nice. So I wanted to show off what the original Wonder Woman figures look like next to this one. And yeah, I thought this one was good at the time, especially from the side. But yeah, this one is so much better. Like just the facial shape and the sculpt and paint on it. Yeah, this head sculpt is much better than this one. For the most part, this does use the same body. We do get new legs because these were really long legs. And just like with the head sculpt, I didn't realize how bad the legs were till I had these side by side. But the paint is a little bit darker on this one. The metallic red looks really good. It's a little bit darker than this one. The gold looks really good. I also think the skin tone looks much better and more natural on this new BVS version than on this original one. This skin tone kind of looks sickly now that I look at it, and like I said, this one looks a lot more natural and better. So there are color differences, but the main difference is the brand new head sculpt and then the legs. I like how these legs actually look muscular instead of just going straight down. So yeah, like I said, I never noticed how bad these legs look till I saw these figures side by side. As I said, the collars on this look really good. I do have a chip out of mine's leg right here. You can see that spot right there where there's a little bit of plastic missing, so that is unfortunate. I really love how the paint on this figure came out. That metallic red looks really good, and so does the gold. I just wish they would have painted over top of the joints right here for her ankles, because they're just done in a plain red color, and it really stands out. I think if they would have painted this metallic red over top of it, that would have looked really good. Another thing I wanted to mention on this figure is she should have came with her harness. Her harness is what she attached her lasso to, her shield, and I think even her sword. On the art card, it does show that harness right there. So it would have been really cool if they would have at least made one new piece for this figure and made it be that. I think that would have looked really cool, but yeah, we don't get that. So that's about all to go over with this figure, so let's go ahead and go over her articulation now. So she does have a ball-jointed head. It can't really look back that far because of the hair. She can't look down all the way. She can move her head side to side very nicely. She has ball-jointed shoulders that can move out all the way. These joints move all the way around very nicely. She has a swivel at the bicep. It does feel a little stiff. This left side makes a little bit of a noise, but this right side makes way more noise. So yeah, it does feel pretty stiff. I might have to take this apart and sand the joint down just a little bit. She has double jointed elbows that can bend all the way in. Some very nice articulation right there. Ball jointed wrists that can move up all the way, down all the way, and spin all the way around very nicely. She has a ball jointed diaphragm and waist that can move back all the way. She can crunch forward a really nice bit. That really surprised me. She can also move side to side up here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Side to side up here at the diaphragm. And the side to side movement at the waist is a little bit hindered. She can move all the way around like that. She has hips that can just about do a complete split. She can kick forward that far. She can kick back that far. She has a decent thigh swivel. Double jointed knees that can only bend back that far. Ball jointed ankles that can move down all the way, up all the way, spin all the way around, and toe articulation that can move up all the way. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up here she is next to the Wonder Woman 84 version of herself. And as I said, this one is much improved, from the legs being better, the skin tone looking more natural, and the head sculpts. The head sculpt is the major improvement on this figure. Here she is next to the Ben Affleck Batman figure. Here she is next to the Henry Cavill Superman figure. This is the Target exclusive version. I have yet to get the new one, but I'm really looking forward to picking it up. Here she is next to Ezra Miller's Flash. And finally, here she is next to the Steppenwolf and Armored Darkseid Megafigs. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this up because McFarlane Toys did an incredible job on this figure, and it's definitely better than the 84 version one. I actually forgot they did do a Shazam version. She didn't actually have the tiara on that version, but I didn't get that figure. So there was a version before this, and I think that's where those legs came from. But still, I would recommend picking this one up because it's going to be my definitive DCEU Wonder Woman figure from McFarlane. The head sculpt looks incredible. I think the figure is much improved from the one that I have. The only real complaint that I have with it is the accessories. I definitely wish they would have been just a little bit better, especially the shield. That really disappoints me. You can see how it's resting on her forearm right there. It doesn't look the greatest. So despite the nitpicks that I do have with this figure, I would still recommend picking it up because McFarlane Toys did a really good job on this. And to me, this is the only DCEU Wonder Woman figure that you need from McFarlane. This is definitely the best and only version you really need, in my opinion. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.